Welcome back to Walk, Run, Soar. This is in my car edition. I just got done with the dogs. It's so backlit, but we're out at our fairgrounds, our local fairgrounds. I was doing some leash work with the puppy and then just, you know, brought the other dog along for a little scenery other than our house. Today is day 25. Today's Wednesday. We're doing number 33 in the book, Letting God Nourish Us. This is fun because we get to talk about food, and I love food so much. And it's also lunchtime, so this is probably gonna make me really hungry. Our verses are from 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 7 through 8. The angel of the Lord came back a second time and touched him and said, "Get up and eat, for the journey is too much for you." So he got up and ate and drank. Strengthened by that food, he traveled 40 days and 40 nights until he reached Horeb, the mountain of God. She shares a story about how she ran her first 20K trail race, that, you know, she felt such a sense of accomplishment when she crossed that finish line. And this particular race, they had a dining area for the runners that had water, snacks, fruit, and soup. And it was like a chicken noodle soup. And she talked about how just, you know, because of the saltiness and then, you know, all the other stuff that's in chicken noodle soup, but it was the most amazing bowl of chicken noodle soup that she's ever had. And even though she's ran other races where they had other things at the end of the finish line, like street tacos, donuts, pancakes, eggs, breakfast burritos, nothing has ever topped that chicken noodle soup at the end of that finish line. And how good it tasted to her after that race. So she relates this back that, you know, God longs to nourish our souls. He nourishes bodies, minds, and souls. His provision for us is personal and powerful. And she says that her favorite example of this is in 1 Kings, the part of the verses that I read. The prophet Elijah was going up against Ahab, Jezebel, and the prophets of Baal. And she shares how he stands on the Mount Carmel and displays the power of Yahweh, who sends down fire before all the people. And then all the prophets of Baal are slaughtered. The power of God was displayed through Elijah. But even though he was used for that miracle, that he still was human because he fell subject to exhaustion, despair, and depression after the intense time of serving God. And Queen Jezebel threatens him, and he became fearful and ran into the wilderness. And he cries out to God to, you know, that he's had enough and that he would just wish that God would take his life. And that he laid down and fell asleep. And then that's where our verse from the beginning kind of comes in. And, you know, wakes him up, gives him food and strength for the journey. And that's what God does. When we reach out to him, he can give us strength to, you know, get through this crazy thing called life. So she just wants this story to encourage us that God doesn't care about just our physical needs or just our spiritual needs, that he cares deeply about both. Her faith step is to talk about how important nutrition is for runners and walkers. What kinds of foods do you eat to nourish yourself before, during, and after a race? My new favorite thing before races, like dinner the day before, is grilled chicken and some good veggies and some sort of carb, you know, because I got tired of having spaghetti. We used to just do spaghetti, so I got tired of that. So grilled chicken is one of my new favorite things. And during a race, I love the Welch's fruit snacks for longer distances, and I usually carry a little thing of Gatorade with me. And after, burgers and pizza. Always so good. Long run Saturdays, we usually always have pizza. She encourages us to take some time to write down what helps energize you and what doesn't sit well with you. What are some ways you allow God to nourish you spiritually? And if you haven't engaged in any of those activities recently, make it a goal to make it part of your daily routine. Our inspirational quote is from Desiree, I think it's Desiree. Des Linden, she goes by Des, 2018 Boston Marathon champion. She says, "Stepping outside the comfort zone is the price I pay to find out how good I can be." That's one of my mantras that I'll say to myself sometimes when, like if I'm on the treadmill or even outside and I'm supposed to do 3 miles and I'm like, oh, I'll just stop at 2. As I'm getting close to the 2 miles, you know, one of my mantras is do not shortchange yourself. because you know I can do it. I just am having a lazy moment. But she's right, you really got to step outside your comfort zone sometimes to see what you're capable of. Our training note from Coach Sean: after a run, quickly replenish the fluids you lost through sweat during the run. Also, your body is most ready to absorb nutrients during a 30-minute window following exercise. And so we suggest that that's the time you should get the protein and carbs. Something that my kids always did after cross-country meets, and I kind of have started doing this too, is chocolate milk. Is a really, and it tastes good too. Oh my goodness. As long as you're not like feeling like super ill from whatever you just did, that chocolate milk tastes so good. But there's these protein shakes that I drink, and the milk chocolate ones are the ones that I love to drink after a run. They're so good. It really, it's something about it. It just tastes better after a run, you know? So I hope everyone is well, and you know, it's hump day, middle of the week. So we've made it this far, we can make it the rest of the week, right? We're still getting ready for our spring break trip, which I'll be talking about in my weekly video that will come out on Sunday. So I'm excited to share that, and I will see everybody tomorrow.